Millennials are America's future, and often its favorite punchline. People say we're young, but the oldest millennials are nearing 40. People say we're dumb, but we're the most educated generation ever. And people say we're spoiled, but we're the first generation in American history who'll be worse off financially than our parents. We're traveling across the country to find out how young Americans are surviving, and in some cases thriving. I'm Brad Hunt, and this is American Paycheck.
I'm working at a fireworks stand in December or during the hot months in July. I also work for my uncle's landscaping company. I work at a restaurant. I bus tables there. So you lay awake at night thinking about, okay, well, I'm good for today, but next week I might not be so good. I need to kind of look for some more jobs or see if there's something else out there that I can do. My name is Randy Smith. I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana. I've been teaching for 12, going on 13 years.
2019 VFW Teacher of the Year, Randy Smith, is among the almost 20% of teachers in America who take a second job to make ends meet.
We all have those jobs when we're kids that, like, you look yourself in the mirror and you rub your face, you're like, I can do this. You give yourself a pep talk to go work for 6 hours at a retail store or something like that. And going on 13 years of teaching, there has never been a day that I've woken up and said, I can't do this. I was always told by people who I take their advice to heart to find something that you care about doing. And it sounds really cliche to pick a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But I really find that it's true. So when I was a kid, the people that I looked up to, the people that had a lot of influence on my life were educators, were teachers, people in the school system.
Students with qualified teachers are more likely to attend college, earn higher salaries, live in better neighborhoods, and save for retirement. Their effect on a child is monumental.
Mr. Tardy, he was an English teacher.
Miss LaPointe, she was our math teacher.
Miss Smith, she was my art teacher.
He was a great teacher, great inspirator, great motivator.
She was just badass. She was just like a good teacher.
She helped me academically as far as learning the basics that I need to know.
He was a guy that really cared about the students, making sure we all got an education and made it to the next level.
We'll talk about art and learn about different artists, and that teacher changed my life.
I'll never forget that one day in 10th grade, I was sitting in a history class because I'm a big history nerd, and I was sitting in Mr. Ward's class, and I thought to myself, I could do that. Like, I can do this for a living. But then always when you mention you want to be a teacher, money gets thrown around and they don't make a lot of money. And I had plans to go be a counselor. And then maybe after I retire from being a counselor, I can go back and be a teacher. But once I got into the program and I realized teaching is about half of what you do every day. You counsel and you mentor and you help people the other half of your day.
85% of teachers choose their profession to make a worthwhile difference in children's lives.
I always just said under my breath at random, one day I'll work in a public school with underprivileged kids. So I Googled worst school systems in America, and Baton Rouge showed up on the list as number 49 or 50. So I did TFA and I went to Baton Rouge.
I realized that I could do all those things I want to do to help people by just teaching. Then I decided that was the path I wanted to do. My mother, I should say, wasn't too thrilled about it at first, but she learned to accept it, and now she couldn't see me doing anything different. We get off of school at 2:30, and I gotta be at the restaurant by 4 o'clock. I'll go home, I'll change real quick, start bussing tables till 1 in the morning on a Saturday morning. It's not uncommon, because I've taught for so long, to have kids that I haven't seen in years be at the restaurant. They do this thing where they look and they double take. And I can see them out the corner of my eye. And the whole time I'm thinking, they probably think that I got fired or that I've, this is what I do for a living now. And a lot of times they'll come and stop me. Mr. Smith? Yeah, man, how's it going? Doing good. You work here? You're still teaching? Well, of course I'm still teaching. Now, I'm not an extravagant person, but as a single father of 2 children, to be a good, solid middle-class family in a middle-class home, doing middle-class America things, a teacher's salary in the state of Louisiana does not provide for that. So I've had to go and seek employment other places, do different jobs to help make up that wage gap that I'm missing.
Teachers earn less on average in inflation-adjusted dollars than they did in 1990. Their stagnating pay, among the worst of any profession, has led to a 25% drop nationwide in students completing teaching programs. Here in Louisiana, teachers make salaries $10,000 less than the national average.
I've been doing a lot of work with teacher recruitment, and I understood completely from the start that the cake's already baked once kids get to college, and we cannot wait to have that happen.
2018 Louisiana State Teacher of the Year, Kimberly Eckert, is at the Teacher Leader Summit, working to address the looming teacher shortage.
Basically, it's 6,500 teachers from around the state, and it started off where every area would send their teacher leaders so that they could go back and redeliver everything. But then over the years, they were able to really expand that, because so often our younger teachers, our novice teachers, need a lot of support, or people just entering the profession. This poll was put out by PDK last year in the fall, and they polled parents, and they asked, would you tell your kid to be a teacher? Like, would you be okay with that? And for the first time in history, it's the highest numbers, 54% of parents say they would actively discourage their children from becoming teachers. So when we look at that reflected in our classrooms and in our schools and our teacher prep programs, we definitely see that. So I think like the short answer, fewer and fewer people are looking to be teachers because we're at a time where society is really actively telling them don't. No job could ever give me the rush that this has. Like I always kind of joke I'm a thrill seeker. This is the biggest thrill. It's a total rush whenever you've got 125 people that are doing things they never thought they could do. I'm definitely a student that was told, don't be a teacher. Like, you have so much promise, there's so much talent in you. Neither of my parents actually graduated with a diploma from high school. So for me, like, I never knew that I was gonna make it past like my bayou and like the trailer and like the pasture behind me. But once I realized I could, I think of how like unfair it would be if I didn't get a taste of like the American dream too. So I've always worked extra jobs. My hustle is strong because I want to be able to explore the world. I want to travel. I want to go to nice restaurants. I want to be able to interact and go to see plays and enjoy a culture that was not mine until I reached a higher place within my own life where I wanted that too. Whenever I first started teaching, I worked at Borders, I delivered pizzas. The money that I made from that never went towards me or things that I wanted. It went towards my classroom.
94% of public school teachers spend their own money on classroom supplies, totaling upwards of $200 million annually.
There's not a single teacher I know that hasn't paid for a book sack or anything personal or extra to make a student's life better.
Louisiana teachers have had statewide raises of just $1,000 in the past decade.
My own community is amazing, and they came together and voted on a raise for teachers a few years ago because they valued teachers. It was $5,000, which was amazing, and communities have the power to do that. But we also have to work together to ensure that communities understand and value their teachers, but teachers have to make sure that they are just kind of delivering in a way that everybody understands is worthy and valuable and necessary in that same community. So they're being a lot more vocal about that.
Teachers, they are a profession like a doctor or a lawyer, but they don't expect to be paid like a doctor or a lawyer. They do expect, though, to be paid at a fair wage.
And it's not just teaching, it's any profession that's not paying people what their skill set is worth, especially in an area that has such high demands. Like, what will we truly do if there are no more teachers? To attract the person that it really takes to be able to handle everything that teaching requires, we're gonna have to start to show that financially, where they're not, again, having to sacrifice everything they wanted out of life to help other people get everything they wanted out of their life.
Teachers all over are making sacrifices to do what they love. Will the teacher shortage and the factors causing it worsen? Or will Kim's message echo and make a change? Only time will tell. But for now, all that matters is tomorrow's paycheck.